We've seen many different reactions from the Republican Party to the removal of Donald Trump from the primary ballot in Maine and in Colorado for violating Section 3 of the 14th Amendment to the Constitution by virtue of him participating in inciting the January 6, 2021 insurrection. One such reaction has been to start to focus on, hey, you know what? If they're removing Trump, maybe we will remove Joe Biden. Now, yesterday we had a clip of Ron DeSantis saying, I'm looking into in Florida, maybe removing Joe Biden because of the 8 million. Now, what he's referring to is 8 million undocumented immigrants that DeSanctimonious and others claim came into the country under Joe Biden, and that would be grounds for removal for Biden from the 2024 ballot. I have a new one, and it's going to blow all of the other ones out of the water. Take a look at this. Yesterday, Missouri Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft was interviewed by CNN's Boris Sanchez with absolutely no evidence whatsoever. The Jay Ashcroft, the Secretary of State, says that President Joe Biden engaged in an insurrection and as a result shouldn't be allowed to run for president. And he is considering taking him off the ballot. There's a couple problems with this. One is that, of course, Joe Biden has not engaged in any insurrection. The other problem is that the law in Missouri actually says the Secretary of State can't unilaterally remove someone. They have to actually go to court. This becomes an insane conversation with Boris Sanchez visibly unable to believe that Ashcroft is this stupid. Let's take a look. It's wild stuff.
I'm sure the Supreme Court will settle whether you can remove someone from the ballot or not, or potentially give guidance on that. I'm wondering, though, what would then be your justification for removing Joe Biden from the ballot in Missouri? Has he engaged, in your mind, in some kind of insurrection?
There have been allegations that he's engaged in insurrection.
Okay. There are allegations that he insurrected. Really?
How so? And all there have, no, please let me finish. There have only been allegations.
You can't say something like that and not back it up. What do you mean?
I am continuing, but you interrupted me before I could back it up.
Go ahead,
Are you
sir.
scared of the truth?
Oh, I'm not terrified of the truth at all. It seems like you might be. Let's hear what you have to say.
There have only been allegations against
what allegations?
President Trump. President Trump has never been adjudicated guilty in a court of law.
What did Joe Biden do, in your mind, that equates insurrection? What allegations are you talking about?
I have seen allegations from the Lieutenant Governor of Texas that has said that Joe Biden has been part of insurrection or rebellion. We've seen the the governor of Florida say the same thing.
Insurrection over what? What did the governor of Texas say that Joe Biden was causing an insurrection over? If you're going to make the claim, give me some specifics. Are you just going to cite the governor of Texas or Florida?
I don't know. Greg Abbott said something. So here in Missouri, I might just remove Biden from the ballot. What, you got a problem with that, Boris?
And not actually say what they are arguing? Do you know what they're arguing?
What I'm telling you is this. They made allegations, and all it took for former President Trump to be taken off the ballot in Colorado and in Maine were allegations. We should not be a country that removes people from the ballot based on allegations.
Now, remember that in Colorado, this actually got to a court. In Maine, the Secretary of State, by state law, is allowed to make such decisions. In Missouri, the Secretary of State is not allowed to make such decisions, and that's going to come up in a moment.
I think you could agree with that.
I think it depends to a degree.
Oh, so your guy can be removed from the ballot.
My guy, Joe Biden is not my guy. You don't know who my guy is. The point is,
it doesn't
sir,
matter.
the point is...
All right, so then they get into the next element of this. So question one is, what insurrection did Biden get involved in? I don't know. Someone else said that he did. Great. Second part is, you realize that different states have different laws, or maybe you don't, Jay. And in your state, in Missouri, the Secretary of State isn't allowed to just do this unilaterally. Then they get to that, and it gets even weirder.
In other words, you think that when the Supreme Court takes this up, they are going to side with President Trump. Is that correct?
they are going to side against people being thrown off the ballot in this sort of manner. The brief that I will be filing with the United States Supreme Court is not going to say that President Trump was a bad person. It's not going to say that he's a good person. What it's going to say is that this extrajudicial means of removing people from the ballot is catastrophic to our country if it's allowed to continue. Because if Democrats can do it, you know that Republicans will do it. And if Republicans will do it, then Democrats will do it more.
To that point, Secretary, in order to remove President Biden from the ballot, according to your state constitution, you would need to go to court. What do you think would be your strongest argument?
Not at all.
It doesn't seem he even knows the laws of his state.
Not at all.
Your state constitution actually states that the Secretary of State lacks authority to assess qualifications of a candidate to determine whether to place a candidate's name on a primary ballot. That's according to section 115.387 of your state constitution.
Sir, what I'm saying is, if the Supreme Court upholds the ruling out of Colorado, and
which went to court to disqualify Donald Trump from the ballot. So you, according to your state constitution, would need to go to court.
Sir, let's just be clear. First of all, you've already said you're not an attorney and you don't know what happened in Colorado. I
know what happened in Colorado, sir. What I said was that I didn't read through all of the evidence specifically to be able to qualify whether there was hearsay or not. To get back to my question, you said that you would decide to remove Joe Biden from the ballot in your state. According to your state constitution, which I just read to you from, it says you need to go to court. I'm asking you what you think your strongest argument is.
And I continue to try to answer your questions, and you continue to try to tell me stuff that just isn't true.
That's not factual, sir. You made an accusation about me not knowing something. I'm trying to clarify it for you. You can choose to answer the question or just continue.
He doesn't have an answer. So an extraordinarily good job there by Boris Sanchez. Jay Ashcroft saying, we might remove Biden because he did an insurrection. What insurrection? I don't know. Someone in Texas made the allegation. Okay, well, what about the fact that as Secretary of State, you don't even have the authority to do that? I don't know. I think I do. Nope. Here's where it says that you don't. You won't let me speak. This is the caliber of these people. And they are not going to, I say I'd rather win with Trump on the ballot, but defeating him soundly. But if the truth is he violated Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, he shouldn't be on the ballot. Great. They aren't going to win this by removing Joe Biden from the ballot. I guarantee that that is not going to be the way in which they win. What they're able to come up with between now and November, we will see. I'm very particular about my coffee, and our sponsor, Trade Coffee, helps you do more in 2024. If you're like me, coffee might be part of your routine, maybe a factor in your productivity. Check out Trade as your destination for better coffee at home. Subscribe to Trade and start the year with amazing coffee. You'll discover new favorites. You'll support more than 55 local roasters across the country, and you will upgrade your morning. And the best part is you can personalize all of it, from the type of coffee you get, how often you get it delivered. They have decaf if that's your preference. I recently got Orange Colombian from New York, sweet and inviting, full-bodied notes of pine. I actually love pine. Who knew? Pine is great. Every time I get a new shipment from Trade, the quality and the taste is top-notch. The convenience is, it's just great. The coffee comes to my door instead of having to go find them. Whether you already know what you like or you're new to specialty coffee and want some help, Trade just makes it easy to discover new coffees you will like. Jumpstart the year. Sign up for a Trade subscription. Right now, Trade is offering a free bag with some of their subscription plans when you go to drinktrade.com/Pacman. The link is down below.